And we had to hear that one more time as well. Just like Dusto, of course, the desk is split. And we're, going to be going into this final map. Do you think North are going to be pulling this off?
What?
I had to read him one more time. Last time, he'll get a chance to respond. It's fine.
Yeah, sure you will. Answering your question, though, I do think North will win now. I wasn't so convinced before this match, but with how they played on Overpass, how they played on Cash, and I mean, you can say it over and over and over and over and over and over again, but the fact that Voxic just is not stepping up to the plate is just really tough for HellRaisers. And I said it that I think Inferno is a good map for him. If he does not step up here, I don't see how HellRaisers are going to win this match, to be honest. And it just feels like North are pretty much what Blair said, right? They are thriving under the pressure, whereas Voxic, it seems right now, he's more or less crumbling under the pressure. It's a sad sight, but unfortunately, a harsh reality.
They need more painful high fives coming out from Issa. I think that's what was the difference maker here. However, we are into our pistol round. CT side start will be in. Voxic is up close. Can he kick himself off this time? It's going to be Bondic, in fact, going hyper-aggressive. And Voxic is there waiting, but they will be shut down. It's a 3-for-2 trade. Rotation will be coming in from Issa. Angel has the smoke and the CZ. Definitely not the ideal weaponry for a retake. Now, Mertz and Kirby, the only ones with Kevlar here. Valde left with a P250. Flashbang going to be thrown in, and Kirby goes for the peek, but actually it's Angel to win himself the battle. Peeking from Issa isn't going to net anything just yet. They're going to get themselves on towards the side, but Mertz hits the first shot. It's all left on to Issa to try and clutch this out. Taps the bomb and baits Valde's peak, but the fact is he's able to just fade away, and now the time starts to tick away from Issa. Only a matter of seconds left on the clock. He has found the kid at least, and actually just going to go straight for the defusal, try and avoid these P250 shots. That's exactly what he's doing, and he just about gets the defuse. Valde will knife him anyway, and that may warrant some sort of buy into the next round. But Issa, he got that kit, and he got the defuse.
Valde, I have some good news and some bad news for you. The good news, you got a lot of money. You got a knife kill. Bad news, maybe you should have gotten it before the bomb was defused. I mean, it's just an unlucky situation, right? Sometimes the smoke can really mess you up, but Issa spent so long looking for that kit and the smoke, and it looked like it was an impossible round, but going for the Hail Mary play somehow managed to work out for him. And I think that takes the blunt of the kick to the stomach that Voxic took at the start of the round. I mean, he's really wanting to have a good map here, and instantly he just got naded in the first round. That's something that's a bit upsetting, but with them winning the round, I'm sure he'll be a grown man and get over it. North actually doing a bit of damage here, and they did force up into it with 2 AKs as well. Mertz looking for something with the Deagle. I'm sure when he gets contact, the AKs will just follow suit, and they will try to see if they can either trade it out or at least play off his contact. Mertz only dropping slightly low, but Angel might be taking a battle versus Valde. Took a lot of battles and won them in the first map, or in the second map, I mean. Not this time around, though. Voxic getting fired up, and now it's all just left to Issa to clean it up, but it is going to be easy with 2 kills here. In the 1 versus 3, we've seen him done it before. Seen him do it before, I mean. But, it's not going to be the case this time around, unfortunately.
Yeah, it will be. TT Sai managing to close things out, and there are a couple of AKs for them to find as well. The mute HellRaisers chant coming out there, because we didn't have sound. Does look quite impressive. He actually just trying to make them see it. Obviously, they've got soundproof headphones on anyway. Why waste your voice? It's actually quite smart. But North, after their force buy, will just have to save absolutely nothing here, and they're going to try and Glock train straight towards Angel. He throws out the nade, but doesn't actually do too much. However, this could be a chance for Voxic to build a little bit of confidence up. However, Issa steals a couple away, and HellRaisers are going to win that third round flawlessly. I do love how Issa he gets so pumped. Like, you just killed 2 guys with Glocks, but that's enough for a raising your arm in the air. He's definitely excited for this grand final.
Yeah, it's always nice to have that guy, that one guy on LAN who just pumps up the whole team. It's really needed, and it's a shame he's not sitting closer to Voxic because it might be exactly what he needs. It's almost like in that situation, right? You have only Glocks. Try to avoid Voxic. You don't want to give him any confidence. It might just be Glock kills, but it all adds up in the end. First buy round of the last map, the grand final. And Mertz actually the one to be left alone here towards the bottom of mid. HellRaisers putting on the pressure at the beginning of the round, but having expended 2 smokes already means that they only have 2 left with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. So we'll see how this plays into the round.
T-side obviously looking to try and get themselves on the board here. They are going to throw those smokes in towards the A side, look to just barrel on in. Woxic and Issa, the deadly duo, sat towards the pit, and already they're going to be shutting things down. Issa with a double. And 1 for Woxic as well. MSL looks to try and turn the tide, but he can't transition onto the head of Dead Fox and leaves Mertz, the man from the Academy team, the man you want to see with an AWP, and instead Woxic is the one to end his life. 4 players survive, 4 AKs retrieved as well for HellRaisers. So already a pretty stacked buy over on their CT side, and for this one at least, the Ts, they can't afford to invest too much.
I want to know what's been said to Voxic in between these maps, because with how he's starting out, it definitely seems much better. He's hitting some pretty naughty shots, and he's already up to 7 kills. It's either something that's been said to him, or he has found a way to stop time and just has been deathmatching for the past 3 months. A low buy coming in from North, and a great timing from Mertz. He's definitely not scared of making those risky decisions, even in a high-pressure environment. Drops off the MP9 as the only guy without armor. Here comes Angel and Dead Fox. They are going to be just lining them up and knocking them down, it seems. Dead Fox with 3 kills, and perhaps even the 4th. He will get it in the end. And look at Issa. I think he might be the happiest man alive right now.
Yeah, getting pumped up into this grand final as they now take themselves an early 5-round lead over on the CT side. They built up a decent amount of economy as well, and we're actually going to see a tactical pause called in from North. This is going to be the first sort of big buy, I would say, out from them, with all the utility and also with the chance to get that AWP as a counter onto Mertz. Now, we're yet to see one in on Woxic as of yet. Not that he's actually needed it so far. He is ruling the scoreboard from these initial rounds, but it's one thing to kick it off. It's whether or not they can continue it. As said, this is where North now have the chance to build into this. Dead Fox, they're doing a good job of just cleaning things up. Obviously, the early kill that comes in onto his teammate did throw a few questions up, but here we go. Rifles across the board, AKs on the majority of players in the server at the moment, 8 in fact. But there's still yet to be an AWP, mainly because HellRaisers haven't needed it. Mertz so quick to go for the timing. Actually, seemed like he had a chance to find that opener, but instead, with 3 players left on the other side and a smoke in between them, it's going to have to be a slowdown here. That nade was filth.
Yeah, the double nade coming in. Good synergy on the HellRaiser side, and we saw Dead Fox play up close here on Banana. Can't really recall who it was versus, but he definitely did a good job at it. We'll see if he's able to do the same. Now he's been locked out of the site here with that Molotov, and does take a bit of spam through the smoke.
Oh.
Does find a perfect timing though, and 2 kills even. And now Mertz drops down to 5 HP. And in the meantime, Bondik, a snake in the grass, snake in the sandbags, does get spotted out, but they combine brilliantly and get 2 frags, and now it's all left to the young Dane, Mertz, who, with only 5 HP, surely has no way of winning this round, and likely won't even be able to take this AWP with him into the next round.
Ooh. Catch the man jumped up. If he can get this kill somehow onto Bondik, then maybe there's a small chance, but, well, Bondik is not going to allow that. It is going to be a 6-round streak from HellRaisers. They've definitely come out. I have no idea how DevFox manages to get away with that. That's absolutely ridiculous, to run through the smoke, to already be tagged, and to hit 2 instant headshots onto the side of North. Pretty much single-handedly shutting down their initial push. And if he falls, who knows what happens in that round. The teams can fall back, they can take the man advantage, and with not too much cost. Here we go, though. AWP retrieved, so Woxic will have that one for free. And the money is starting to get a bit scary now for North, as breaking the CT economy is going to be very difficult. Bondik this time, he is going to be left blind, but even while running away, he's doing the damage. Does burn to the flames of Valde, but it won't matter. Angels in the flank. Another strong round from HellRaisers, barely losing any players. And they're now 7 to the good without a response from North.
A totally different HellRaisers coming into this match, and I want to highlight how impressive it is that Bondik somehow manages to back away, still keep track of all the angles that he needs to spray at, and also somehow manages to land pretty much all of the shots while blinded, running backwards and holding mouse 1. Really, really crazy stuff from him. Voxic, we see a bit of confidence, but confidence misplaced. Mertz, on the other hand, good opening from him. And with how T-sided this map sometimes is, getting a bit worried for my Danish brethren. North with 0 of these 7 first.
But now we get to see how HellRaisers deal with being a man down. It's going to be the push into middle. Angel, he lines them up but can only take 1, and the peek out from Issa is met with MSL. It's going to be 2 players actually on the right side of the map, and DevFox looks to flank in. He'll catch Mertz with his pants down, but now he's the only man left alive, and Valde will execute him. Great round from MSL, leading by example with a triple. But there's definitely a buy coming back in. So much extra money for this CT side to play with, and a chance to send North packing back to nothing, as they will not have much money going into the next round if they lose this one.
Let's hope, though, that Voxic isn't deterred from going for entries after that 1 round, and it seems that he wants to answer my question straight away. Goes for an entry kill here towards the B-bomb site. None to find just yet, but will be boosted up on the broken wall. With that, has a decent chance at opening up. In the meantime, they do have banana control off the back of Voxic just watching that area of the map. I'm interested to see the fact that it looks like Mertz is the one defaulting towards B with a rifle in most rounds. Even with the AWP, he was the only guy there, so not sure if this is a game plan thing or if it's a regular thing, but it is, at least for most teams, an irregular thing, so.
The gamble stack, as you pointed out, is in at the moment from HellRaisers, but a lot of it relies on this man here. Missed shot, of course, not quite hitting the timing, but Woxic still hanging around, and he hits the shot onto MSL so fast on the flick. Rotation already in from DevFox, and with 40 seconds left, the T's look hesitant in where they're going to be pushing. In fact, maybe a difference of ideas. They are going to be setting up the smoke, but they've still got Woxic in this aggressive position. A second player is here as well, and he even has a smoke to play with. They can buy extra time, but this is all a fake. The T's are going to look to try and wrap back around, and with nothing being spotted, the CTs have not moved a muscle. 15 seconds left, and Issa still up above. Flash doesn't quite get him, so he'll be able to peek up, and he doubles down. However, he falls as well. It's left onto Bondik, but he'll get both. 8-1. HellRaisers return after losing just a single round. And now the T's, they may just have to fight with very little, as they don't have the cash once again.
They've tried pretty much everything now, North. I mean, on the 4 spy rounds, they've tried rushing B. They did the same in the pistol. Here they try a fake. Still did not get a lot of luck. I can't believe he hits that shot. I was sure, you know, when he's just walking slowly backwards there, that he is going to get the kill onto Mertz, but instead goes for some crazy flick. And yeah, I guess nothing's too crazy for Voxic. Seems to be working out just right. But as I said, North, they've tried a bit of everything. Something that I really have to give MSL a lot of credit for, especially on Overpass, but also previously in the tournament. He's been really good at changing up the tempo of the game. So sometimes, even when they've had a lot of momentum, playing a lot of default rounds, they've just decided to throw a rush into the mix. But here on Inferno, I feel like they've done pretty much the same thing. Unfortunately, it just has not had the same level of success. But we'll see if that's going to change here. If they manage to win this round, they could reset the CT's economy. And Angel might just be giving them a lifeline.
Rifle handed over. He's actually looking to just try and push right in here. Waiting will be Woxic, and he's so quick on the trigger that he takes one back in return. Issa's still going to be here, but he has to watch out for the players jumping down, switches to the USP, and well, Woxic is forced to do the same as Kjaerbye, double entries into the site. On the other side of the smoke, there will be Devfox, but he goes straight through it. Already picks off one, gets the second as well. The bomb is now dropped, and Kjaerbye is left to try and clutch this out. 1 HP for Devfox, but he's done some damage, and Bondik holds the angle as they survive the onslaught of this pistol AK Force. There will be another for this CT side, and the money now is crushed for HellRaisers. Not for HellRaisers, for North.
I would be pretty surprised if the money was crushed. It's really impressive if you somehow can manage to have a wrecked economy at 9-1. But obviously not the case. I think a bit of a tactical pause perhaps coming in from, I would assume, North. That's not even the case. They are just going to be straight into it. Kjaerbye, the only guy with a pistol that has now been dropped to Valde. So from the fact that Kjaerbye has a single flash, I think we can assume that an Apps Explode or a B retake is going to be coming in this round. Makes sense to me that Kjaerbye would drop the upgraded pistol to another fellow, so he can use the flash to flash out Valde. And he can then, off the back of that flash, try to entry with the CZ. So an Apps Explode is on the cards. We'll see if they'll have any success.
Yeah, if you're a Danish fan, here's hoping, because this is looking bleak. A 10th round, almost inevitable. Angel hits the timing with the nade, and well, it is just a slaughter in the end. Only Mertz remaining. 40 HP. He got the CZ at least for a second, but instead it will just be more stab padding, and Issa, well, now you can see why he's getting pumped up. 1 round is all that's been managed, and the fact is, we spoke about how at least in the maps we saw prior, there were players stepping up. We saw Valde have a huge performance. In fact, we saw almost everybody have some sort of impact round. At the moment for North, there's no one.
That is most definitely true.
I think, if I'm correct, the only round where the player who actually won the round was MSL, and he got 3 of his 4 kills in that one round.
Yeah, I mean, a case could be made that North shouldn't even have lost the pistol round. Came down to a last-second defuse, and North got all 5 kills in that round, so not a lot since. Voxic and Bondik, though, find a frag each on opposite sides of the world. Means that they are now in a 5 versus 3 situation, and with a 10-1 scoreline and a huge advantages in this one as well.
Battle through the smoke. Both players almost meet their doom, but MSL will just be falling back now. They don't even have that much utility left. A singular smoke, a Molotov, and 2 flashbangs, and they're at a 2-man disadvantage, going what is into a buy. Of course, if they get a bomb plant here, the loss bonus will start to work in their favor. However, it's getting to the point where talking about the idea of loss bonus and getting buys is not really the point, as we're at 10-1, and North are yet to do anything. And you can even see at this point, HellRaisers starting to just save their utility, just hold it for later portions of the round. A smoke thrown to try and delay any sort of push. CT's have gambled onto the wrong site, and they are going to look to clear out Issa, but he peeks in. However, he won't actually manage a kill. Does a lot of damage. And Incendiary is going to go down onto the site to try and switch up the position of the plant. Boost over the top will give a little bit of extra vision to Woxic. Question is, can he spot anything? The answer is no. Both players on the side itself are low. It's left mainly onto Kjaerbye. Sat in the pit to try and hold on to this, and the only real benefit is the fact that the CTs don't have any utility either. A singular flash, or a double, sorry, to try and get back in. Pop, one will go. The second as well, but they're just looking to push in, take these fights. They're yet to actually clear too much out, but Kjaerbye now goes down. AZ left on just 11 HP. He's been clutched so far, but even he can't clutch this one out. And an excellent retake in the end by HellRaisers. 4 players survive. They take their 11th round, and, well, as said, the bomb plant will help out a little bit for North. But they are in real trouble.
If just one of those duels gets won, I think it's actually a round going in favor of North. I don't really understand the point of gamble stacking when you're up 10-1 and you are in a 5 versus 3 situation. I mean, it's at a point in time where I guess you could gamble because you are so far ahead, and therefore you have some more leeway even if you lose. But I can't say I support the decision. Almost ends up costing HellRaisers. I mean, at that point you shouldn't really be afraid. You've been winning pretty much every round by playing default. I don't see why you should change it when you're in a heavily advantageous position. I understand maybe playing, you know, 3 players towards B, but would have probably been nice with at least 2 players who are able to support around the bomb site. That plant has been gifted more or less to North, but a bomb plant is not what they seek. They seek their 2nd round on the board, and it has been long overdue.
And, well, looking to pick up the pace once again. Now apps they go. Issa is going to be waiting on the other side. Has a lot to aim at, and, well, doesn't hit anything, and neither does Woxic. The deadly duo of this HellRaiser side is lost within the first few seconds, but with Angel managing to pick one of these players out, he has given them a way back into this round. DevFox looking to round the corner. The flashbang actually doesn't hit, and Bondik will save his teammate. However, he's caught with a nade anyway, and Bondik will fall as well. Angel, the in-game leader, is the only man left alive. And the real question here is, how much damage can he do? None. Valde will execute him. He finally awakens into this server with a triple kill. And, well, there is North's 2nd round. If they can get to 4, I still feel like this is possible. However, much less than that, and even a pistol win could end this game.
We've seen crazier comebacks in this tournament, but it's been at earlier stages as well, and there's really no higher, or no environment that's more high pressured than a grand final. So it's probably not going to be easy for North, but I like it. Again, we see MSL change up the tempo of the round, like I already talked about once. Instead of just playing a slow default, they just play an incredibly fast-paced round, and it ends up working out in their favor. They've been trying to mix it up throughout the half, but this time, I feel this is the first round where it's really been working. They do have another round on the board, but if I remember correctly, it was closer than the one we just saw. MSL somehow loses out in that fight, but a quick trade for Kjaerbye makes it all worth it. Bondik retrades it, and then Mertz retrades it. So now, all of a sudden, the B side is ripe for the taking, and Valde had an insane performance in the last map, had an insane performance in the last round. And he's still alive here in round 14.
Retake once again is the name of the game for HellRaisers. Money not going to be the best point going into the last round if they do lose this one, but already Issa finds a quick pick. It will be Mertz falling. They do have a little bit of a crossfire. The problem is from Ruins, it could be quite vulnerable here. He's going to come out. Valde will hit 1, looking for his 2nd, but they know exactly where he is. However, the tag team of this T side seems to be working. Valde looks to end it, and he will do just that. It's a 3rd round on the board, at least for North. And a bit of a sigh of relief, it seems, as they will at least get themselves a little bit closer to hitting 4. However, now, with the buy coming back in, of course, it's going to be that force. I wonder if we'll see something a little bit more audacious. Bondik could drop an AWP over to Woxic. Has been good so far. However, looking over at the scoreboard, just in general, well, we did see 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Obviously, it doesn't quite end that way. It was a beautiful scoreboard for a matter of seconds. And instead, they'll actually go for a double AWP. Issa will take the hit. And there isn't a single kit. And North are hoping for a fourth, more than just a little bit.
A fast-paced round turned into a slow one. Just grab the map control and expect to hang on to it, but Dead Fox will not allow it, and MSL has to use his smoke, and now he's actually in a bit of a pickle. The flash not going to be helping him at all, but his teammates are. And AZ picking up Angel. They do actually give up the map control on the B side, and now also on the A-bomb side pretty much, because Issa finds the frag that might change the tide. Voxic finds another as well, and they try to charge down Issa. Just barely manages to hang on to dear life, MSL does. And they once again slow it down. 40 seconds left, but it's the perfect play. Unfortunately, Bondik is the perfecter. Voxic takes down MSL, can't hit the second, and Cabby, not the type of guy you want to play against in a clutch. He's done it before, might do it again. Last round of the half. 1 versus 3 turned 1 versus 2. They come in from the same area, and he expects them coming from short, which is exactly what they're going to do. Hits the first headshot and the follow-up. Cabby couldn't really have done much better with those shots. Hits the first guy while he's still in transition. Switches his element from earth to air. And gets taken down because of it. Instantly just picks up the second frag, and with that, the round. So 1 versus 3. There's probably no statistics on this, right? I mean, there might be. But I think North is by far the team that has won the most 1 versus 3 clutches at this event. We've seen so many from AZ and now also from Kirby. And we also saw the Valde 1 versus 3 on Overpass. So apparently a bit of their specialty. But they need more than that to win this match and this grand final.
I think it's a worrying prospect as well, though, because it's like you've got the most clutch players, but then you are being put into the most clutches. Like, you kind of have to be if they're going to be winning the most of them. Like, the fact is North are not winning these rounds outright. A lot of the time is coming down to very close battles, close scenarios. We've seen Valde having to come up with like a 1v2 towards the end of that half. And the fact is, without those last 3 rounds, which were incredibly close, I might add, HellRaisers absolutely dominated. They won 11 out of 12 rounds in a row. And now if they win this pistol, they're still in such a firm driver's seat going into this T side. So North, they've got to step up, and they have got to step up now. We're going into our pistol round, the final half, unless, of course, there's OT, of this grand final.
But what we saw on the other maps is worrying signs of people perhaps having issues with pressure. I think if North starts to get back into this, the pressure mounts. We'll see if they'll be able to surpass it this time.
That's already kicks things off with a double. Woxic is left to trade and does just that, but the man advantage already sticks, but not for long. Angel gets another back. It's left onto AZ in the back lines. He does his job perfectly, but Woxic is still alive and kicking. Definitely turned up to this third and final map. The first 2, he was on vacation, it seems. But he's back with a vengeance. Actually doesn't plant the bomb. I think he's made a little bit of an error there, although it could work in his favor. He's just heard both players actually flash in towards this A site, and now he's going to go switching. The question is, were the footsteps heard? I think they may have been, as it's quickly realized by North that he's going to be heading over, and I don't think the timing is going to work out for him. They're both going to be waiting over towards his CT spot. The second he goes to peek, they're both waiting, and Kirby hits the headshot as well. He's been read like a book, and it will be a 5th round for North.
And then again, I feel is a clutch that Voxic normally wins. Had a much better map here. than the two previous, but maybe overthinking things a bit. Unfortunately, he messes up the bomb plant, and I think perhaps he would have had a better chance in it had he not, but nothing to do about that now. And on the other hand, Kirby and MSL played it very well. The body system, I think even at the beginning, one guy crouched and the other guy was standing, so they had the same angle. Pretty hard to do on the fly. And with Kirby hitting the shot, it gives the pistol round of the second half to North. If they win the two next, I mean, it does begin to get a bit scary again for HellRaisers. But granted, that requires them to do exactly that. And with how many second rounds have been lost after the pistol at this tournament thus far, it's still no easy feat.
Minute left on the clock. CT side with a fair few SMGs here, and well, we know what these CZs can do. Not a whole lot of utility for the Ts to use, so it's just a couple of smokes, and I feel like they may just section off CT and towards coffins. A little bit of a delay thrown, and actually interested to see if they are going to just try and bait and switch. Yeah, exactly. They've pulled off the rotation from Mertz, and even the thought of it comes into the mind of Valde, who is now going to go peeking. He finds out where the jewel is, but it doesn't matter. Issa has already picked off one. AZ left on the site, has the rotation back from Mertz, who gets here just in time, and AZ shuts down the first. Mertz there with a crossfire. Bondik will at least get into the pit and looks to try and do some damage, but it is a great hold in the end. AZ buying time, Mertz just in time. And it is going to be time for an eco for this T side. No money left to invest into this next one, and North have hit their 6th.
Really, really sick play from AZ. I mean, takes the first frag, and then the way he uses that smoke is just so intelligent. I think we'll even see it here. Gets the first, uses the smoke. Then look how he even gets the first kill, and then kind of uses the smoke as a barrier between him and the one player, and a gap in the smoke leaves him with a really, really good angle for the other frag. Very intelligently played, and under such pressure. Very, very nice to see from him. Has been playing really well in this tournament, as we've said multiple times. And especially in this grand final, I feel like he deserves a lot of praise as well.
This round at least. Not going to be much invested, in fact, nothing from the Ts. Just Glocks and, well, praying that somebody gives them a chance to get onto one of these sites and plant that bomb for a bit of bonus cash. It won't be the best of buys in the next round. Are we just seeing a loop around apps? Is this look at them giggling away with what they're doing. I love it. HellRaisers still having fun in the grand final, trying to pull someone in, and they're literally just going to keep running around. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. HellRaisers having some fun. They didn't look like there was any sort of tactical talk or anything either. That was just to put a smile on their faces once again. Still in the lead, trying to raise morale a little bit. 4 rounds to the good as they come into their first buy over on this T side. And the CTs of North are going to look to try and build into this half. They really didn't start off strong. We saw an 11-1 scoreline picked up. But since then, they've had 5 rounds in a row and go into the first buy of the second half.
And an aggressive play from North, it seems. They are going to get Issa because of that, and then MSL's Molo somehow burns Angel to a crisp, so the first buy round, Tom, that's pretty incredible for them to play such aggressive Counter-Strike and get home scot-free. I mean, only one of them is really tagged up. 2, if you count Kirby as well, but it's... I mean, it's... I wouldn't even call it an injury. He's maybe been just slightly struck by a bullet. Now properly struck by a bullet, but still heavily in the favor of North. And for the first buy round, this is a very ballsy call, but worked out great. Now all they need to do is seal the deal. Mertz Timing a bit weird. Finds the angle onto Bondik though. Very important kill, and AZ really does it all. Valdi gets dropped, but AZ takes down Voxic. And I mean, now that the scoreline is getting so close, and with how they lost that round, I mean, the pressure starts coming back to HellRaisers. Oh, they need to show that they have champion material in them. But that's the hard part.
T-side unable to really invest too much into this one. It's all going to be about doing some damage because they do not want to allow North to build up a large amount of cash. Mertz going for the early pick, but isn't going to find anything as of yet. And as I said, we can't really expect too much here from the T's. Nice shot from DevFox will at least net them one, but the spray from MSL is doing a hell of a lot of damage in return, and he's already caught himself one. The remaining players from the T's looking to gather up over towards this A side of the map. It has been now a streak of 7 rounds, looking like an 8th for North, and wow, this is getting very scary. HellRaisers look like they had this grand final dead to rights not long ago. Mertz with the double leaves Bondik all alone. At least has some Kevlar behind his CZ, but seems like Mertz is posted and waiting. And she doesn't connect the shot. I think will be hit. Still a chance, as said, to do a little bit of extra damage.
I mean, at this point, he could pick up the bomb and go to B. He does not know that, though, and instead MSL knows exactly what he's doing. Scoreline of 9-11. Getting closer by the second. A pretty nice double here from Mertz. Of course, it's just onto pistols, but no matter what, he played it incredibly well. He took the shot and then just instantly ran away. Exactly how it should be played versus pistols. And it's nice to see an Oppa playing well. Something that we've lacked a bit in this match so far, but Mertz is treating us to the gun show, and the gun of today is the AWP.
Kirby will spot out a couple of the T's, but instead just opts to try and drop the smoke down. The T's are looking for a way back into this round, but the fact is, yeah, that is the punishment for meeting Mertz that early in the round. He seems to be waking up into this match. We're talking about how there was no like weak players over on that HellRaisers side. In fact, the same is now being said for North. Strong performance across the board, but here we go. The T's taking map control, looking to clear out the apartments. They haven't really been able to deal with AZ in the pit so far. He's been the bane of their T side, unable to clear him from this very position. MSL is going to be forced out of Arch side, but the clock now looks to tick away, and he has some utility to expend himself. The gap in the smoke won't give any information over, and actually, the T's are going to make a late decision to try and double back towards the B side. The problem now is how passive the CT side actually are. They're all the way back themselves. They've got Kirby and then Mertz as the sort of anchor of the site with that AWP, and I just feel like they've left this too late. They'll need some instant entries in, and already Mertz is going to pick off one. Kirby hasn't even been spotted yet, and there's only 10 seconds remaining. He finally chimes in with a kill, and it's an absolute shutdown. Flawless round, a late decision made from HellRaisers. And well, speaking of late, North have woken up into this map very late indeed. Starting this comeback at 11-1 down, they're now only 1 round behind.
That's pretty crazy, to be honest. It's, yeah, I mean, it's been a while since HellRaisers have had a round. And I mean, at this point, you'd rather have had a back and forth game, right? Where it's constantly been close, you've been fighting to stay on top.
Well, not if you're North.
Not if you're
I feel like right now, I feel like North are going, you know what, we'll take being 11-1 down if we're going to streak
exactly. That's
9
the thing,
rounds
right?
back.
but it just plays so heavily into the minds of the HellRaisers players. And of course the Norths as well, but not negatively. Negatively is the word that I apparently am not able to say. But that's okay. What's not okay is HellRaisers. I mean, you can't really expect them to win this round, but if they do not win the next, it does kind of seem like the game will slowly run out of their hands.
And the other thing is, even if they do win it, the CT side, they've got so much cash left in the bank that there's almost definitely going to be a strong buy coming up behind them. A little bit of aggression coming out as well from Kjaerbye, taking banana control. And they've even got Mertz set up with the AWP, which would even, if you spotted that, you're not going to expect Kjaerbye to be so far back. It almost suggests there'd be more of a 4-1. And you can just see that the CT side know that there's pistols coming. They're so passive. They're not taking any of these fights. They've got no reason to at all. Now that 4-1 setup does begin to arise for HellRaisers. Mertz posted up alone. Pop Flash is going to be thrown in. He doesn't even bother going for the shot. He's just going to throw in the incendiary and wait. But actually, Angel goes running straight through it, and his teammates will look to do the same. He's taken that AWP and looks to just hold off anybody who hopes to rotate in. The bomb is going to be planted without much contention. There is a gap in the smoke for the CTs to utilize, but nothing to be spotted as of yet. And already Angel steps up again with that AWP, quickly hands it off into Woxic's palms, who is now waiting. And actually the CT side have decided, okay, we're going to let HellRaisers get away with this one, buy back up into the next round, not just throw away all of our weaponry and hand it over to those players who only have pistols and bolster the T's economy even more. Instead, we're going to keep it for ourselves and make sure our money is as strong as possible.
And the CTs have a really, really nice setup on banana, but the T's decide to completely circumvent them, and because of that, AZ only gets 1 kill, and it gives HellRaisers another rifle that is definitely something that they needed just about now. It's a bit of an unfortunate situation for Mertz. He did everything just according to the book, but the Molotov a bit too late, and perhaps he could have run up closer to the sandbank as to not get caught by the pistol before he had fully emerged from the Molotov. But besides that, it's just a bit unlucky. I think HellRaisers, what they did that last round was actually pretty amazing. So they sold the fake that they were going to hit A, waited for the CTs to use all of their counter utility, and because of that, without those counter grenades, they had to rotate over a player. They had let Mertz take the deep peek, which it seems like they were aware of. A retake on the B bomb site with utility meant that Mertz got caught, and then they even had a smoke for the Molotov, I think. I have to assume that. I'm not sure if you caught that, Tom, but as far as I could see, the T's weren't low, and at the same time, I think they ran through the Molotov. So
I think the second player smoked it.
Yeah, okay, so they even, I mean, they were even so next level, so aware of what could happen in that round that they had kept a smoke for the Molotov. That's actually not just pretty impressive, that is super impressive from HellRaisers. The mental fortitude going strong, and Mertz has to, yeah, they're doing the same thing. They're forcing him back, and because of that, now we see the stack on the B-bomb site. But now the A-play comes in. This is really, really nice to see from HellRaisers.
Yeah, they're looking to try and just bait things out. They've pulled over a third player, at least for now, but there's only 25 seconds left on the clock. They really need to get their move on. Valde will be waiting, and I wonder if he's spotted Bondik just up above. He hasn't quite rounded the corner. We'll hear all of the players rotating in, but Kjaerbye, he's managed to get past them in the smoke, just lurking back around, and the time now starts to tick away. They really need to get themselves onto this site, but it isn't going to happen. North are just shutting them down, and in fact, it has to be a save from Bondik. 6 HP, no chance of him winning that round, and it is going to be another on the board for North. That is short-lived for HellRaisers, as they only manage 1 round and are quickly returned on by the Danes.
HellRaisers did everything right that round, except for the fact that they played so late. I think, I mean, there's also a point in which that B-split smoke doesn't really work as a fake anymore, right? Counter-terrorists, of course, didn't have control of the banana, so it could have been a B-split, but I think it's highly unlikely that anyone would B-split with only 30 seconds left in the round, and perhaps the CTs were aware of that fact. Kirby played it perfectly. The Scorpion plays it perfectly once again. Doubles up. Also doubles up with the smoke, but that's a minor mistake compared to the major benefit of that one flash that came through for Kirby.
And now the T side, well, they have to try and find something back into this round. Issa. A man that could definitely turn the tide, but he has been fairly quiet in this map. At least as of recent. Woxic still sits at the top of the board for his team, but there hasn't been much to note recently. And just look at the setup at the moment from the CT side. Likely to be one boosted and one just below. Validate is there. The clock starts to tick once again. Issa looking to try and either wrap or hold rotations. That's the biggest thing. But the fact is, it comes down to these two players on the site. They need to get themselves the entry, and they actually haven't cleared the backlines whatsoever. Up above is going to be MSL, and that Incendiary is going to buy even more time. Issa's now made his move on the other side of the map, but Mertz is ready and waiting to catch him off. And as said, it comes down to these players. Woxic, he's found the first. They'll be able to cross at least, but do they know that Validate's still here? They should know that there's a second player at least, but he's done the work. The time now starts to tick, and Woxic has everything left to do. Doesn't connect the shot. And, well, that's it now. North have managed to streak together so many rounds that they've gone from 11-1 down to hit 12-12.
And that's the look of a broken team. I think a tactical pause is long overdue for HellRaisers. I don't even recall seeing any whatsoever. I find it funny how I said that it's highly unlikely you'd see a B-split coming in at 30 seconds, and then they do exactly that, a B-split at 30 seconds. But this time, a necessity because they were only 3 guys alive. A lot of info gains on the pistols. Mertz finds yet another entry. This is just a throwaway round for HellRaisers. The next one is going to be the important one, but at this point, with how much money the CTs have got, it's just dire straits for HellRaisers. Even if they were to win one, they need to win multiple in a row, and that's never easy.
Yeah, MSL actually smoked into the corner, but it won't matter anyway. Mertz is there with the AWP. This has definitely been one of the better performances we've seen from him, although you look at the scoreboard, it's what, 19, 17, 17, 16, 12. There's no one slacking over on North, and well, the similar can be said for actually HellRaisers. There isn't a weak player, it's just they need someone to step up. In this round, as you said, it's unlikely, it's almost impossible, as now Mertz holds the cross onto an unsmoked CT, and although there's some hope to try and get a bomb plant, it isn't going to happen. North now take themselves the lead, 13-12, and the T's will be back with a bye.
And now is the time that I'm sure the crowd and all of the CIS, Counter-Strike fans, just all of the HellRaisers fans, be looking for their idols to step up. It's now or never. If they lose this, they are broke once again. Not completely broke, but broke enough that they will have to choose between a shorty buy or not even a buy. So a super important round coming in from HellRaisers. Mertz, this unrelenting aggression might find him a kill. It will not. Goes down as the entry frag of this round, and he has been finding many entries lately, but this time he himself has become the entry frag.
Valide looking to try and shot this down, hits 2 instant headshots, and he's returned this round into the favor of North. Molotov will be clearing AZ, but actually the smoke has done enough to hold them back, and MSL, he's rotated away, but now looks to double back towards the B site. The T's are going to meet him there. They need to get this kill without any real damage, any real return. Even a one-for-one trade will give a huge advantage to the remaining players of North. And I think MSL will know that even peaks in. He gets 1 for nothing as he can now fade away. Bondik, I think he'll know that they need a bomb plant to go into the next round with too much, so he's going to at least grant them that. But now he looks to try and clutch, finds the first. He knows MSL's below and does so much damage, leaves him onto just 8 HP. And has given himself a real chance here. Pushing together, AZ spotted, and Bondik gets the second through the coffins. I didn't even think he knew he was there. Just taps him down. Bondik with the 1 versus 3. A massive clutch to keep HellRaisers in this game and a round they never should have had.
I mean, that's we're now at a point where if Issa made an explosive high 5, or low 5 even, yesterday, he needs to probably jump from the moon or something like that to even match how incredible that play was from Bondik. That is so well played. A bit lucky with the last one, but the legwork done by the man himself, and that might be the turning point of this grand final. 13-13, we're back to an even scoreline. Mertz perhaps spotted out, perhaps not. Does not find the frag, but a free shot with an AWP is never something that you'd pass up.
Oh, the T's just looking to wrap back around. Mertz misses a second, maybe giving an opening, but look at the shutdown as Valde once again on Arch. Bondik, they're going to need you once more. If you can perform in the same as the last, maybe there's a chance here, but it's a 2 versus 4. He'll get himself 1. He needs to do all of the work, but he does actually find a second. He should know that AZ is around in the pit. Pop Flash comes out, leaves him blind, but he peeks back in. Bondik's found another one. He's only on to 1 HP, but he's given himself a chance. The fact is, though, he has no idea where Kjaerbye is. Looking to come back in from behind. Now, if Bondik walks through the smoke, he should find all the information. And he can now take this back over towards the B site. This round is going to get close, almost as close as Bondik to his monitor, as we're going to have Kjaerbye looking to try and wrap around in a moment. And in fact, it's going to take him so long to realize where the bomb is that it will actually be ticked quite far. Bondik has to try and play this perfectly. He's got one opportunity.
Kjaerbye is still not sure if it's A. He goes back to A.
Yeah, he doesn't know. The time will now tick just that little bit longer. Only with 1 HP. He does, of course, have a kit and an incendiary. That's going to be the big factor here. If this is thrown into the corner, I think that may be Bondik dead to rights. He needs to dodge any of the flames, but it doesn't actually go. It doesn't go off. That could be the biggest problem of Kjaerbye's life. He taps the bomb, but nothing's going to be spotted, and it's ticking past. He has to find it, and Bondik gets the kill. Again, a 1 versus 4, a deserved high 5, and Bondik is carrying them through the last few rounds.
Okay, you can't even jump from the moon anymore, Issa. You need to jump from something that's further away. I have never seen anything like that. What an impressive round from Bondik. The first headshot. This is a headshot he should never get. This is a duel he should never win. The fact that the Molotov fails, the fact that he's got so much ice pumping in his veins, that he dares, after such an impressive round, to think that Kjaerbye is not sticking it in the smoke. Everything about that round is a masterclass from Bondik. And at this point, if HellRaisers don't manage to win the final, it's definitely not going to be Bondik's fault. Angel and Dead Fox pick up 1 each. It's going to be left to Mertz, the young gun. A good Molotov comes out, but can't quite stop the push just yet. They might not even commit to this, but the rotations are happening. Valde goes through the smoke. His specialty, Mertz, not able to find the kill, and instead he will be the one to drop. Valde finds only one as Dead Fox finds him. And AZ in a 1 versus 4. We've seen some impressive clutches in the 2 previous rounds, but surely this one is going to be 100% impossible. It's something I would have said about the last, but
he's got no kit. The time should just be enough to play with here. We are going to see the
Do you think Mertz had a kit?
Looking to extend. Maybe he does. There was a few other players around the site. Unless, of course, they all walk away. which is exactly what's happening. There's only DevFox left, and there's a kid onto the site as well. If he gets Woxic, maybe there's a chance. He's just going to go for the defusal. Sitting in the smoke. Is anybody going to be able to stop him? AZ gets the clutch!
My God,
What is
not
that?
again.
How has that happened? An impossible round. And North now steal one in return. I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
I can't believe it, Tom. I mean, these are Tom, I mean, our job is to speak words. I'm not even sure I know what words are anymore.
That's 3 back-to-back of some of the most ridiculous...
1 versus 3.
You get one of those a game.
1 versus 4. You get one of those a month. Holy hell.
There is going to be a battle for what is going to be taking a top of Reddit spot today, because those are some of the most filthy clutches. We are now sat 14-14. Arguably, the deserved winner of each of the last few rounds has not managed it. A great round overall from HellRaisers, but that from AZ, just to have the balls to walk into that site when you don't have a kit, find a kit, and then stick the defusal on the other side is just ludicrous. And now they're the ones with the weaker buy, looking to try and win this. The fact is, the loser of this round will have next to no money going into the next. Obviously, the T side do a little bit better because they have the saved players. But the fact is, they've still had to pretty much invest everything they have. It is crunch time in this grand final, and the winner of this round may be the winner of the entire tournament.
I seriously don't know what just happened. I mean, it's hard enough to focus on this round with what have just happened. 14-14, grand final, map 3. It's Inferno again, the map that keeps on giving in these grand finals. And at this point, there's no harder round to win than this one. The pressure is mounting for both teams. I wouldn't want to be Angel, who now has to make a decision on how they play out this round, but at the same time, I'd probably not rather be one of the players that just has to hold an angle and hit his shots. They will be going back to B, it seems.
Yeah, they're going to try and split round, but there's multiple players actually holding onto the arch. The CT side setup couldn't be better here, and it is going to be the MP7 to try and shut things down. The problem is they've actually rotated back towards A, so Kirby, he's the man with all of the work left to do, and he is gone within seconds. The CTs now have a decision to make. Push can be going, and I think they've gone in towards A. They're just going to try and save what they have. The CT side are calling it quits. They're going to allow HellRaisers to hit the 15th round. The team, well, the European team, I would say, are now going to be left with one more round needed. At least a couple of AKs will be saved, and on the CT side, that's going to be about it. Valde and AZ, the ones holding them, the two top fraggers for their team, although I will say that the current scoreboard there is 22-21, 21-19, or at least it was at the beginning of the last round. A ridiculously close match. As said, there doesn't seem to be an underperformer in this server at the moment, and there doesn't seem to be someone who can't pull off a ridiculous round. The fact is, though, North now need one once again.
Tom, do you know the feeling when you hear a piece of music that's just so beautiful you can't help but get chills all over your body? I tell you,
I'm just sweating at this point.
This might not be music. This might not be. I mean, I can tell you this is still a masterpiece. It's. I can't believe what a grand final we're witnessing, Tom. And I can tell you for sure that I have chills all over my body.
Ooh. A chance for Mertz to hit the opener, a second, in fact. Now, as said, the CT side are going to have to force it here. MSL with a CZ, Kirby with the UMP, opting for extra utility. Going to be holding early on. They've gone for a fairly standard setup, and they do have a decent amount of smokes. That's the one thing that they have managed to bring into this round. Banana control slowly being taken by DevFox. If there was pressure in any of the rounds before, it has definitely mounted into this one. Lots of utility being expended by the T's, in fact, over towards this A side, but this may just be an attempted bait as they're going to go for the same play once again. Mertz doesn't manage to hit the shot as they will go rounding on. MSL with the CZ has to try and hold them in CT. Already he does, he manages a first and a second as well from MSL. He's held off the rotations and AZ through the smoke finds 2. It's left all onto Woxic. He finds 1 and a second for himself.
Is it happening again, Tom?
It's the chance for him to secure the MVP of the tournament. A 1 versus 3 to try and close this out. Valde will be rounding the corner. The flashbang comes from his teammate and actually blinds him instead. He's going to be running straight through the smoke. Spots a second. He's been given chances but can't find either. But he will get the kill onto 1. However, Kiabi will hit the shot. This map is not done just yet. They say finals are built on Inferno and North are taking it to OT.
I mean, these clutches have just been the building blocks of the most impressive game of Counter-Strike I have ever witnessed. And when I say witnessed, I don't mean witnessed in the case of sitting here in the warm chair casting the game. I mean witnessed as in I have never seen a game like this. I can't sit further out on my seat. I mean, being on the edge of the seat is just like the biggest understatement. And we have more to come, Tom. It's incredible.
Yeah, MSL in CT, just how does he manage to get 2 kills there? Because that's the thing, the play from HellRaisers was spot on. They managed to split through the arch side. They have basically a 5v2. They have to kill the guy in CT and the guy on site, and then that round is done. And the fact is, MSL gets a double here, shuts off any rotations, and then you just have this spray from AZ, the transition through the smoke, which just nets them 4 kills within a matter of seconds. And you can definitely see, even from Issa, he's looking very fidgety at the moment, knowing that they had a massive chance there to close out that map. And this has just been one of the most insane sort of games I think I've ever witnessed. It's 11-1 up for HellRaisers. Then we see a streak, I think, of, was it 9 or 10 rounds coming in? I think it was
something along those lines for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a ludicrous amount of rounds struck back. We then hit 12-12, and we have some of the craziest clutches I've ever seen from Bondic. Then we get the Ninja Defuse. It never seems to end, this game at the moment. And
we have a 15-14 for HellRaisers, where they're up against a CZ in CT spawn that gets 2 kills, and then AZ also somehow manages 2 kills.
That's what they're fighting for.
I know I'm talking a lot about what's happening to my body. And
maybe a bit too much information.
Maybe a bit too much information about what's going on in my body. But, I mean, with how much I am shaking, I can't just begin to imagine how it must feel to be Voxic right now with 1 million in sensitivity. And
just like he's just flicking from left to right.
Yeah. I mean, that's maybe why he's left his computer. He needs to somehow calm down. If we weren't here to cast, I would have probably gone out and gotten some fresh air as well, because I need to mentally reset and mentally prepare for the rest of this game that, yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I love Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and it is just that sort of age-old thing of Inferno as the final map of any series is always
the raid
be
boss.
Good. It's just like there's no way like if Valve ever try and remove this map again, I think there's going to be like 4 million VODs just sent their way, just like watch any of these and just realize why you're wrong, because it is just such a good map, such a good map to witness. So many incredible plays thrown in. I genuinely, I'm still sort of stuck on like the first couple of clutches that were pulled off by Bondic. That the rest, I'd like those haven't even quite hit me yet, because it made no sense that he was able to pull off either of those. The fact is, there was a point in this game where I was like, okay, HellRaisers have got this. Then the streak came in, I was like, okay, North, they've got this. And then you see Bondic do that, and you're like, okay, HellRaisers now.
Bondic has got this.
Yeah, Bondic has got this. Then AZ, and from there on, who even knows anymore? MSL stepping up as well. As said, you sort of look at the server at the moment, and
everyone is just
Yeah,
in
I
it.
think the top fragger in the server has 23 kills. The bottom in the server is 16. Like there isn't a weak point, and it's so enjoyable to watch. To just have both teams just performing, because that was what we were talking about at the beginning. If we have every single player in this match stepping up, it's going to be an incredible game, and that's what we've got. And the thing is, all the way through this tournament, that has not happened. Like we speak about before the tournament, for example, we say how AZ never really performed. We see him like in the first map today, he wasn't there. Then in the second map he was. In this map he is. We talk about Valde, how he's had some incredible performances. And again, it was like the second map was his playground. First one, yeah, it was a little bit questionable. We talk about the first 2 maps in this series where Woxic was not there at all. He's definitely here now. And it's just madness. The only thing that is crazy to me at the moment is that Issa is actually the one for his team at the bottom of the board. And again, like if he now wakes up and starts having some of the incredible plays that we've seen from him throughout the tournament, who actually can say where this is going to go anymore?
I mean, we don't need Issa to step up to see some incredible plays. I don't care who it is. Bondig was to me at least, the unlikely hero. I would not, going into this match, say that Bondig was good at clutching, but he's got me convinced.
It's sort of like you're happy to be proved wrong, if anything.
I would say happy is.
It's
it
like,
just does not get me there.
There's some times in life where you're like, I'm wrong, but I'll accept that with pride, because he's definitely given us a show, and while the show must go on. Double AWP or 2 AWPs in the server at the moment. Mertz and Woxic, 1 apiece. If we're sticking with what we've had throughout the tournament, which I imagine we are, this is going to be 16k MR3, so plenty of money all the way through. Mertz set up, and he's already found that opening pick onto Angel. The Dane starts things with the AWP, and once again, we're going to have to see some sort of response from HellRaisers.
So many opening picks from Mertz. Issa somehow manages to win that fight, but does get traded out by Valde. Good Molotov comes in. Good flash as well from Valde. It means that he only actually takes 10 points of damage. With that, the advantage. Bit of a slower pace now. Flash to clear shot. And nade that does not actually have much impact. But the Cloud9 setup, as we call it on my team. You have a guy Speedway playing the info on archers. So he's not really committed to either side. He's going to have to commit now, though, as the push surely will be coming in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah, only 30 left on the clock, and already Kjaerbye is rotating towards the correct site. MSL just sat in the pit down below, but Kjaerbye actually loses the battle, leaving just 2 defenders. The fact is, though, the time is on this side, but this time it's Devbox to step up. Valde, what can he do on the site? He's netted second, and actually that's the bomb down. He's done enough alone, and Mertz will crush Bondik. No clutch this time for the Ukrainian, as now North will take themselves that first round in OT.
I'm not much for roller coasters, but I don't want off this wild ride. I want to continue riding. How that round ever gets that close is only off the back of Deadfox getting a kill he shouldn't have, and then getting a kill he never...
Definitely shouldn't have.
Yeah. I mean, that never even should... The question shouldn't even be asked.
Ooh.
And we see Woxic. We've at least been missing a bit in recent times. Was pretty quick to actually go up to 18 kills. I think he was on 17 and 9. Flash coming in for Kjaerbye. Gonna peek and instantly gets wrecked by Deadfox, who is the man of the hour here in the overtime.
Well, you say that, they still managed to lose the last round, but definitely looking to rectify that in this one. There is 1 man defending A. It is AZ. Out of all the people in this tournament, he has been one of the most clutch. I think there's no argument there. But this, surely, is too much to ask. Still having a bit of a peek in the form of Devfox, just making sure that there's nobody over towards this B site, and already AZ is gone. Mertz will get a consolidation frag, but the fact is they're going to have to try and retake this versus 4 players. Now, most of the time when you say crazier things have happened, it's not normally in the last few minutes, so I definitely don't want to count out MSL and Mertz just yet, and money won't play a factor for them. They are going to be able to buy into the next one no matter what, so they may as well give this a go. Incendiary being lined up. Mertz actually has one of his own. They need something back into this very, very quickly indeed, otherwise it will just be the round going the way of HellRaisers, and that's exactly the case. 16-16, the high fives are thrown once again, and we're going to see a one-round lead going into the second half.
Voxic, to end what I was saying, I think he was on 17-9, even 18-9 at one point, but quickly got traded. Now at 25-20, 26-20 even, I think. But a very impactful kill from him in the start of the round, and need him. Well, HellRaisers at least needs him if they want to have a chance in this grand final. Has slowed down a bit towards the later stages of this map, but always a guy that can pull off some insane plays. And with how many rounds have been won solely on insane plays in this match, having a player who excels at that might be the difference maker.
Still plenty of time left on the clock for HellRaisers to play with. No real damage done just yet, and we're still seeing MSL playing that rotational role over towards that CT spawn. Apps taken by the Ts fairly late into this round, but luckily for them there is no congestion. It's the CTs falling back onto the site. Valde playing close on A has been excellent over the last couple of rounds, and I think AZ in the pit has been very difficult to deal with, so we're going to wait and see whether or not that is going to be possible. 30 seconds on the clock now for HellRaisers. Once again, they look to move, and they've already removed Mertz from B. In fact, DevFox, looking to try and sell what was originally a fake, has actually done enough to pull off all the rotations. However, there's hesitation here from HellRaisers. The fact is, there's not a whole lot of time left on the clock. Bondic is going to be throwing things in, and they have pulled the rotation. The fake that ended up being the real thing has pulled everybody off of the other site, sent them over towards A, and left HellRaisers with a bomb down and a reaction needed. Bondic shutting down CT spawn will stop MSL rotating. Actually manages to duck back around. He misses AZ, but even just the knowledge Bondic being behind has to mean that Valde slows down to try and catch this kill, which is exactly what he will do. Turn it into a 2 versus 3. Missed shot from Woxic gives a chance, but AZ is yet to take it, and now another angle taken, which Woxic will not miss. Valde tries his best, but Woxic is there once again, and in OT, as you stated, he has woken up.
The calling from HellRaisers is just impeccable. Again, they find the site with the least amount of players. DeadFox, as you even pointed out, was just supposed to run distraction, but sometimes a fake turns into a fake, and you end up instead entering 2 players. Happens very, very rarely, but it's always a pleasure when it does. And the hesitation even that came in actually almost ended up costing them the round, or could have at least, potentially. But I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think it was Bondic again who ended up running a different fake on the A bomb side, and I like to think that he was just the man who stepped up and said that, you know what, go to the B bomb site, I'm going to run a fake here. Instantly took the decision as to alleviate the pressure off of his teammates. Usually that's the case when a guy decides to run distraction in the mid-round like that. So if that is the case, if he was the one to make the call, it's another highly impactful play from Bondic, who definitely has put up an MVP-worthy performance here on the last map of the Grand Finals.
Yeah, the T side looking to pick up the pace in this round. Banana control already being taken by them, and the boost thrown into the back of the site. Normally a bit more of a one-and-done scenario, but they have got a third player in the form of Woxic coming around. They are gamble stacking over towards this site, but it is the right play to make. Molotov thrown down, and it is just going to be smoked off, but now Bondik up above is yet to be spotted. Woxic waiting to hold off the rotations, and Bondik already picking up one, and only a trade or an individual one, leaving him at the back of the site. He's been so good in overtime. Can he continue it? No, he can't. AZ will shut him down. And Woxic is here at the back of the site. He drops the bomb. That's a horrible position for that bomb to be in, but Valde at least catches one rotation. However, he can't do anything more. It's left onto AZ. We saw a ninja defuse from him not too long ago. This time, he's actually trying to retrieve the bomb. 30 seconds left on the clock. Issa waiting in CT. In the church, we have Woxic with that AWP. The time starting to play a factor, and AZ will at least manage to retrieve the bomb. Is there a safe place to plant it? Yes, there is. He's just going to go for it straight behind the barrels. Woxic a little bit wary that this could have been a bait. HellRaisers still looking to try and push in. They're going to clear the pit to just make sure he isn't up close. It will net them a lot of information. AZ just trying to sit in the corner, waiting patiently for these rotations to come in, but the remaining players are just going to go together. AZ tries his best, but it isn't enough. And it's going to be another round on the board for HellRaisers. They are one away from taking this grand final.
I was already aware exactly of how I was going to praise AZ for winning that round. But not to be this time around.
Was it to add a CR to the beginning of his name?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm not stupid, unlike you, Tom.
Well.
No, but the 18th on the board for HellRaisers. Map point. Not the first time that they've had that. And with map point, I say that as if it's just an unimportant map. It's, of course, map and match point and tournament point. So the most valuable of points that one could gather.
Everything is on the line for North in this round. Had to fight through the lower bracket after losing 2-0 to HellRaisers already. They're going to try and fight, at least initially, on towards this A site, but look at the deep control taken by DevFox. He's in such an integral situation because if he goes down, they can just run on towards the site. Looking like we're about to have a split in, but he is the main man we need to be watching. Can he get this kill over towards the site? DevFox actually gets both. That's the most important thing in this round. He's managed to drop the bomb, and now it's going to be a retrieval mission coming out from the T's. DevFox once again, he has to be careful though, because AZ was just around the corner, and behind him come the remaining T's. That's the thing. He doesn't know that they may be in on the flank. AZ already picks one in a second as well. Now it's all onto DevFox, but Kirby ends his life. DevFox with a great attempt to the round. Unfortunately, it's not enough. One more round needed for double OT. One more round needed for HellRaisers to close it.
How it must suck to be DevFox in that position. Takes two phenomenal frags at the beginning, even uses the Molotov to hold back AZ, but AZ buying time by just sitting in the corner, and because of that, DevFox's attention was split. The shared attention to the 2 points meant that the T's could catch him on a timing that granted them a free frag, and the speed is just going to be there for North. Only one kill off the back of it, but a valuable one at that.
Look at the damage.
They have all dropped low though, and on the other hand, HellRaisers, 4 healthy players with their full 100% HP. Woxic with the AWP. He has been one of the best rated players at this event. Actually, for the majority of it, he's been the best player. We'll see here if he will be the difference maker in the grand final as well, at least in the overtime. Good utility usage. Molotov comes in to delay the push. And Mertz will be running front man because of his low HP.
Looking like they're just going to isolate off Woxic in this scenario. Issa smoking himself back. We saw a similar thing from AZ, and Woxic just going to try and get into the site to help out his teammate. Does just that. Finds the pick. The wraparound will be coming in from Arch, and they may make the decision to try and double back towards the B site. In fact, that's exactly what they're going to be doing. The fact is, though, Angel seems to be aware, but he gets caught in the door, almost loses his life just based on that alone. Pop flash out will net him one, almost a second as well, and Bonding's going to be here, sprays down both, and HellRaisers have done it. They will win themselves the net Masters, and it is close as hell. It's not quite enough from North. We see some incredible plays from them, coming back from 11-1 down to, in fact, even take the lead for a moment's time. But some ridiculous plays from Bonding drag them back, and in overtime, they do just about enough. The trophy is theirs, the high percentage of the prize pool is theirs, and I think at least for today, the hearts of many of the CSGO fans are going to be theirs, because that was one incredible final match.
I mean, I might have a bit of a bad flight tomorrow. I have to get up really early, but the adrenaline will probably keep me going. Luckily, I don't have to stay up. So here we see HellRaisers lifting the trophy then. They most definitely have deserved that Issa, the guy that wears his emotions on his clothes.
If you don't love Issa at this point, I think you're just wrong as a person. Like he's so enjoyable to watch during the games, such a talented player, but also, as you said, wears his heart on his sleeve. Woxic, he comes back for the final match to end on 31 kills, but as said, it was a final full of star performances, full of incredible plays, and Inferno, it's just the map where every single final map should be. I think it should just be law that you're allowed to pick the first two maps, but this map has to be the one in the grand final that finishes it, because it is just utterly ridiculous how incredible that final map was. And yeah, it's crazy to think as well that when you look at how the rounds went, 11-1, and then on the other side, I'm pretty sure we saw almost identical straight back, like 11-1 on the other side. So the first few rounds of that, or first like 20 odd rounds of that, was literally just streaks. We didn't see anything at all. It was the last few sort of like 10 rounds that gave us what was the grand final that I think many will remember. That was incredible.
Yeah, there was nothing short of incredible. Congratulations to HellRaisers. I feel like at this point, I'm not sure if you agree, Tom, but I have to just say a huge thank you to North and HellRaisers for providing us with
Are you entertained?
Yeah, exactly. Entertainment for the past 3 or so hours, and I'm sure this is a game that I'll be able to rewatch in the future, and I'll probably be enjoying it just as much as I have now. Congratulations again to HellRaisers, and yeah, what an incredible match.
Yeah, I think obviously we got to say commiserations to North, but it's weird because as a viewer, as someone watching that, I don't feel like anybody lost. Like that's the thing. Obviously there is a loser and there is a winner. There's someone who takes home the trophy and the bigger half of the prize pool. But that final map was worth more than I think all of that combined, because it was just so incredible to watch. It looked like it was going to be an utter stomp. It looked like HellRaisers were just going to obliterate them in the final map. And I was thinking, oh, come on, this is the grand final. Give us something to play with. Then North did exactly the same back. And I was like, okay, we're literally just going to have a slaughter. And yeah, well, that's where it ended. Either way, that is it from us on the caster desk. We're going to be handing it off for the final time of this tournament.
5 reasons to bet on bets.net. 1. We are not a bookmaker agency. We are a betting exchange. We are fine with any outcome of the event, so we have no reason not to pay your win. The information about the bets is available for everyone in real time. We stand for fair esports. 2. Instant replenishment and withdrawal of funds. No delays, checks, and restrictions. 3. Convenient mobile app on iOS and Android. All site functionality is in your pocket. Bonuses for each user of the app. 4. More than 800,000 people trust us. We are the most visited esports bet site in the CIS. 5. All coefficients are fully transparent and the commission rate is the lowest. We play fair and